Good evening. It has been a while, folks. Welcome back to the Geekly Goods Roundup, episode 117, I believe. It
Oh my
is
God.
spooky week. Happy Halloween to everyone who celebrates. If you don't celebrate, you're missing out. Welcome back to the show. Thanks for joining us. It's been a while. I'm your host, Loretto. Leo will not be joining us tonight, or maybe he will. I'm not sure. With us, as always, is Ileana. How are you, my dear?
I'm doing great. How are you, man? It's been a minute. I've missed
Yeah,
being on here.
yeah,
Like,
it's been a
we
while.
we got stuff done for sure behind the scenes. It's still seeing the movies. But yeah, I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to chat.
Yeah,
And
last
happy that it's
last weekend I
Halloween
was
this week.
last weekend I was in Vegas.
Hell yeah.
I was in town for a wedding, but it just so happened that the When We Were Young emo festival was there, so
Oh,
there was a lot of emo happenings, which I am an elder emo myself. I did not mind that at all.
hell yeah.
Um, I had myself a jolly time, just so to say.
Who'd you see?
Well, so I actually it wasn't in my budget to go to the actual festival. Tickets are really expensive. However, they
Mm.
did have side shows leading into the festival. So
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, I saw the story so far, which is awesome because they're from the San Francisco Bay Area. They played a little sideshow with two other Bay Area bands, and it was fantastic.
Hell yeah.
Wonderful show, and I get pretty crazy. I'm all up in the mosh pit. I'm wild.
That's what
So
it's for, man. I hate people who aren't like committed to the bit. You see people at concerts, they'll be in the freaking like mosh pit standing. I
right,
hate
or
it.
arms crossed or something like
Arms
that.
crossed. And I'm
It's
like,
like,
what
yo,
are we talking
yeah,
about?
have some fun, live a little, right? Like,
Uh-huh. No, 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 no. I can't with that energy. That happened to me. Was the last time it happened to me at the freaking Bad Bunny concert. There was some people around me that were clearly tourists that didn't know half the songs,
oh my
that
gosh, I hate
sat
that.
down for
That was
most of the
me when I saw
concert.
Blink like a year or two ago, and there was a lot of people around me that was really like paid premium tickets, and they're like just chilling. And I'm like, do you even? Why are you here?
It's like that Chapel Roan at that concert. She was like, nobody in the VIP area is dancing. You guys are no fun.
She said that.
Yeah, she screamed at
That's
them
awesome.
because
Call
they
them
were all
out.
like serious. She's like,
Right,
you guys think you're so much cooler than everybody just because you're
right.
VIP. She's like, you guys are
Posers.
you're not fun. And then she's kept
Real
saying hot
quick,
to go.
let's say hi to the chat. Luke, what's going on, man?
Hello.
How you
Welcome
doing? Hope
to
I
the
hope you're
show.
well, as you're doing well, and have a good Halloween, man. What's up, Real James? And he said, no IMAX for Brand New Day is baffling. That's actually one of our
What?
stories that we are gonna get into a little bit later. We also have some Stranger Things news and some fun Halloween horror centric stuff to chat about. But with all that being said and introductions out of the way, let's dive into the meat and potatoes of the show, as we always say,
And
the
and
roundup.
and the gravy.
Eli, hit the music.
Do-do-do-do-do-do. Ba-da-da-boop.
Oh, that was great. Just like old time. That was
Live in
perfect.
4K. Uh-huh.
That was exactly what we needed. So if you're new or if you're just joining us, we do like to kick off the show with a check of the box office pulse. And surprise, surprise, anime top of the food chain once again. Chain Man, the movie, Reze Arc, Reze. I don't know. I don't watch
Mhm.
Chainsaw Man. I'm so sorry, guys.
I no, I'm not the audience.
But Chainsaw Man storms the box office at number one with a respectable 17.3 million domestic haul, which is pretty good for an anime. And I think technically is K-pop Demon Hunters considered an anime? I don't know. But
I don't know. I feel like a lot of people would argue with you on that because it
okay.
is Sony Animation. So it's
Ah,
like
okay,
not
okay.
even, yeah.
True. Not true. Just okay.
Yeah. Not true
Okay.
to
Well,
form, but also some people argue that Avatar: The Last Airbender is an anime, and it's just it's a little tricksy,
right. And anime inspired, maybe. But I think Jujutsu Kaisen did well. I think Demon Hunter did really well.
Mhm.
So you love to
For
see these
sure.
films doing well at the box office. And then
Demon
Phone
Slayer
2?
also did really well
Right, that was the
recently.
one. Demon Slayer.
Mhm.
Black Phone 2 came in at number 2 after an excellent debut last weekend, which we didn't get to talk
Crazy.
about, and we will dig into a little bit, with 13 mil. Regretting You, I believe, is like a romantic drama. I don't think it's a rom-com.
It's another Colleen Hoover adaptation.
Ah,
Remember the whole debacle last year with It Ends With Us, I think
right.
it's called? Eh, it's just this one doesn't have like an exciting press tour drama, but it's more or
Okay.
less the same, you know. It's a romantic drama. It's just weird. It's for the freaks, and
I
I'm not
was
one of
gonna
those.
say, again, one of those things that's just not for me, but,
No, 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 no,
not
no,
my
no.
cup of tea.
The trailer's weird. The trailer's a bit off, but you know, we'll take it.
Yeah, I didn't know what to make of it, and I was like, "Okay, it looks kind of like a Lifetime movie." But anyways, number
Found its
4 was
audience.
Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere, and we didn't get to talk about this, but poor Jeremy Allen White, that movie is a flopping. I think it was
Oof.
like a 55 million budget, something like that, and it's barely at like 16 domestically. It's not doing too great. And followed by that, we also have another box office blunder, Tron Ares, led by the much loved Jared Leto of, the very esteemed
Uh-huh.
Jared Leto,
The box office full, you know, truly.
Oscar
Truly.
winning Jared Leto. He gets butts in the seats, right?
Absolutely,
Anyway,
yeah.
anyways, any big surprises here, Elay? And we will talk about Black Phone 2 in a second. But aside from that, I mean, did you get a chance to see Springsteen or Tron or
No, I didn't catch Springsteen, refused to catch Tron. Um, Regretting You, I
refuse?
was refused. Yeah, for
I like
sure.
how you
I
fit that in
refuse. No,
there.
I need my stance to be so abundantly clear. I refuse. I do not for me. Not something I want to support. No, thank you. Regretting You, also not interested. I'm really not the target audience, but it doesn't really surprise me that it did well considering the box office. Like, I don't know if to call success, but they made some money last year. You know,
Right. What was
I
the
would
other one? It was the
assume.
one with Blake Lively, right?
Correct. And that had a really, really dramatic, scandalous even press tour that really brought people, drew people in. Was it a problematic story? Yes. So I remember us talking about that and diving into that a little bit on the show. So yeah, not super surprising. Grading news up there, but I am really surprised, but in a very positive way, that Black Phone 2 has held its ground. I love that Black Phone has like such a, I don't have to say loyal audience, but it definitely has like a very active audience. And I love it. I loved watching it in the theater with like a full theater. I love what they did with the story, but I guess we could like dive into that a little bit after. But yeah, Chainsaw Man also, because of the success of Demon Slayer, seeing this at number 1, really interesting. I guess not necessarily surprising because of what I just mentioned about Demon Slayer, but it is very interesting to see how the box office has been acting in October. Like, usually you see a little bit more horror oriented, but then again, you got Chainsaw Man being more body horror, perhaps, in a
Right.
sense.
And
Um,
I'm actually surprised. I wonder if other studios didn't have any films for it, or they just were scared off by Black Phone. But
could
they
very
let
well
Black Phone
be.
kind of just be by itself, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, unsurprising, Frankenstein is nowhere to be seen.
Ah, well, that had a
Yeah,
very, very, very limited release, and even, like,
for
I was looking up
sure.
theaters around my area, and I actually had to commute a little bit, like, there was not a lot of theaters that even had one
Mm-mm,
screening of
mm-mm.
Frankenstein, which I unfortunately missed most of them. So
Yeah, same here. I people had to, like, at the theater chain here in Puerto Rico and beg them to, like, bring the movie, and they brought it with a very extremely limited release, and they kept cutting show times throughout the weekend. Like, Saturday, I was like, "Oh, let's catch this tomorrow at 7 p.m." Sunday rolls around, the showtime does not exist. So we had to like change theaters and everything. But you know what? Worked out in the end. I saw it with a friend. Fabulous time. Loved it.
oh,
What a
I'm so
picture.
jealous. I'm
What a
so
picture.
jealous. Because
So yeah.
I love GDT. So is it, where would you, I mean, you don't have to rank it, but I mean, like, is it up there
Mhm.
with his best, or?
I haven't seen all of GDT's filmography. I am not the person to ask because I also am a Hellboy apologist. I think
I
that's
love Hellboy. He's
Hellboy is
fantastic.
so phenomenal, and even Hellboy 2: Golden Army, hello.
Yeah,
But
no, I
you know,
actually prefer it over the first.
really? I mean,
Yes.
I love both, but I feel like the first one has such a special place in my heart because I loved it. It was one of those movies that when you're a kid, you just want to watch over and over and over again. That was me with like the Van Helsing, the Hellboy, the Extraordinary League of or no, the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, sorry. All those movies is I always had them on repeat, and they were always on cable television on reruns too, so it was easy to rewatch. But I enjoy Shape of Water. This is up there with Shape of Water, but I feel like Shape of Water is still much stronger as like his top picture, let's say.
Okay,
But
that's fair.
Frankenstein, I love her. I love, you know, little gothic romance. I love Guillermo del Toro doing what he does best, which is be incredibly empathetic to monsters. Yeah, I really like the way that he presented it. It have been a little bit more polished in terms of pacing? Absolutely. But
Okay.
that's kind of my only criticism of it. Like that's just
Yeah.
me being nitpicky.
So how
Um
was Mia Goth and Oscar Isaac cooking? Jacob Elordi?
they were cooking. I think Jacob Elordi cooked the most,
Okay.
which is surprising. I have never really seen anything. I haven't seen much of what Jacob Elordi has done aside from like Saltburn and maybe Priscilla. So I guess it's kind of like the most recent examples.
I almost said Elvis, but yeah, Priscilla, that's the one.
Yeah. Uh, silencing women's voices. I see.
Oh, oh, I'm catching strays. I
No.
didn't mean
No,
it.
but I think he was, like, decent in those, but I wasn't like, "Oh my gosh, Oscar winner," you know? I wasn't,
Right,
like,
right.
floored by his performance, but here, he plays around. I'm like,
Okay.
"Oh, I really like him being forced to not" ¿cómo te digo? Like, not depend on his good looks, perhaps?
Sure,
Because
sure.
he's in full garb, so he's having
Yeah.
to do a lot of, emoting through the eyes,
Right.
and man,
And I
good
think
stuff.
that's a very underrated technique. Like, I
Correct.
can't do it off the top of my head, but there's so many great like subtle performances where it's all in the
Rebecca Hall
eyes.
in
It's,
one battle after another.
oh
She
my,
is so incredibly expressive with
oh
her
that
eyes in that
that
movie.
that movie that movie was so awesome.
Crazy. That movie's crazy.
So I totally forgot. That's the last movie I saw in the theaters. It was a few weeks ago, but God, I
Good
want to watch
movie.
it again. It was
Good picture. Good picture.
so much fun. And honestly,
Intense.
Benicio and Leonardo doing the mini buddy movie thing was just, oh,
Benicio
I
del
loved it.
Toro really carries any movie, like any project that he's a part of, and watching a movie I love Puerto Rico. I anytime there's a Puerto Rican in the cast, and it's usually Benicio del Toro in, like, a mainstream American movie,
Yeah,
the theater fills up. It's sold
right,
out, baby girl. Nobody knows who Paul Thomas Anderson is, but Benicio del
right,
Toro's in it, and everybody
right.
showed up, so that theater was
Yeah,
packed, and a lot of the showings were absolutely packed, and everyone went crazy for his performance because it was so good. I loved
yeah,
how, like, cartoonish it was in a sense,
right.
but it
But it
it
was
kept the
also like
gravity.
it was also like laid back. Like he
Correct.
wasn't like overacting or like totally doing something crazy. He was just playing the role of this like sensei slash like
Mhm.
like what do you call it when you're like harboring people? He had like the underground like it was like the
He's
underground
just really
railroad
he
for
was
like
just Latino Harriet Tubman is what he
right,
was.
like he had like the underground railroad for like Mexican immigrants, and I just
Correct.
everything about it, I just loved it.
I also
So funny.
loved the we could go on about this for a minute, but with this, I'll close the thought so we're not here all night. But I really love the juxtaposition between Benicio del Toro's representation of what a revolutionary looks like and Leonardo DiCaprio being basically a deadbeat revolutionary.
Right.
And it's very interesting to see that contrast. I really liked what PTA was cooking with that commentary, in particular for that sequence of the movie.
Absolutely. And also just kind of like the juxtaposition between like Leo's anxiety, drug-filled, frantic nature, and Benicio's just calm and collected. Here, have a beer. Like,
Correct. Correct. Calm,
he's like,
cool,
he's
and
like,
just
bro,
a
don't worry.
cowboy.
He's he's just like, don't worry. Here's your gun. Here's your beer. Sit down. What?
When he took that John Wick fall off a building, though.
Oh my! I couldn't stop
Incredible.
laughing, and then he
It was
got
good.
tased. But anyways, we can talk about PTA one battle after another all night.
Fun stuff.
What
Fun stuff.
what a movie! But you know what? It is Halloween season, and I think the current horror film that we should be talking about, if my screen will let me. Hello. Oh my god. You know what?
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Okay, we got there. We got there.
Yes,
So
sir.
I'll kind of let you take the lead, and actually, I'll lead into it. If you guys haven't seen the first Black Phone, I actually have a review for it on the cinemaspot.com. Shameless plug. I loved the first film. I loved the atmosphere, the 70s nature of the story, especially in a world without cell phones, and kids used to walk to school, and if you weren't home by 5, you know, your parents start calling the cops. It's like, you know, there's no
You
cell
end
phone,
up on a
there's no
milk
watches,
carton.
there's no GPS. And I think it's interesting to take kids of this time to that dynamic. And the concept of the grabber is terrifying, and it's anchored by Ethan Hawke in just complete opposite form of what he normally does. And he's so good. He's
Phenomenal.
so scary. I really like the first film, but take it away, Eli. I have not seen Black Phone 2 yet. What'd you think?
I would like to preface that I was at the the night before invited to the screening for this. And I'm so very grateful that I was. Oh,
We love you too, Leo.
love you, man. So I was super, super grateful. And then I realized, oh shit, I haven't seen the first one.
Oh no.
So I saw it on my I'm so sorry, Scott Derrickson. I saw it on my phone at work.
Hey, you know what? I
And
think
I
he'll
loved
appreciate
it.
he'll appreciate the stream. You know, you did you I don't know if you
It
bought it, or if you have it on
I
Amazon or
could
something.
yeah, I
Oh,
streamed it.
oh, zip. Okay. All right.
Listen, okay, we made it work. I had to see it. I saw it like 5 hours before the screening. But we know what we saw it, and that's what
Okay.
mattered. And look at the power of cinema and how good a movie is. Listen, David Lynch will forgive me. Don't worry about it. Don't worry
That's
about
Tyler
it.
calling you
It
out.
was not my first choice, Tyler. It was not my first choice. Okay? Some things are not available in my market.
Hey, that's
I
fair.
digress.
That's fair. Anyways, go ahead.
So, anyways,
While we
so
bust your
the
chops.
power of that movie being as good as it is that you can still enjoy it on your phone. Like, honestly, Christopher Nolan, go F yourself, actually.
Oh.
Because you go, no. That I know that's strong. That's strong. I love that little drama. I love Christopher Nolan, but I love that drama of that time because he was like such a diva.
Right.
And I love the idea. Most of my favorite movies, I watch it on iPod Nano, like this big, because that was the time. It was 2005.
Hey,
And I
that was
liked
an era.
rewatching my favorite movies on there. So I was watching Devil Wears Prada constantly. That's how I memorized Devil Wears Prada. I had it, on my little iPod Nano. So if the movie is good, I love the theater experience, but you can watch it on any screen. Okay, whatever you have access to. Obviously, it's not to say one is better than the other. It's just the accessibility of the appreciation of the arts. I digress. So I saw it, loved it, thought it was really, really good. I was like there getting scared in broad daylight on a small screen.
Right.
Phenomenal. And I walk into the theater, start the second one. I'm taking my notes. And I love, and I'm trying not to like spoil it, but Lo, I think you're gonna love it too.
Okay.
How it is so expansive upon the first,
Okay.
and it doesn't replay the structure of the first one.
Okay. So it's
It
not like
doesn't
a rinse
follow a
and repeat.
formula.
It
No,
doesn't
it's
reheat the
not rinse and
nachos, like
repeat.
as
It
you would
doesn't
say.
reheat the nachos. It goes out and gets a new pair, a new set of
Nice.
nachos. It's fresh, fresh out the oven. And they really are able to do that because they changed the setting entirely.
Okay.
Not only that, they expand upon storylines that were mentioned in the first,
Sure.
in particular with the little sister. I forget
Mhm.
the little sister's like the character's name, but she takes on more of a protagonist role here. She becomes more important, even though it's not that she was not important in the first, but she's more present.
Right. Like she
And
took a back seat in the first film, so.
correct, because of the nature of the situation of the story. You know,
Right. Like
you
his yeah,
got
the brother was the one that
the
was
brother's
trapped.
stuck in the room, and that's kind of the whole crux of the movie.
Right.
So here they're together, or like, and they're fighting against the forces of evil together, and I adore how reminiscent it was of really, really old school VHS horror, if that
Yes.
makes sense. And we're talking Nightmare on Elm Street references. We're talking Carrie. We're talking what was the other one? The Exorcist. So like in particular, the most references we have here without rinsing and repeating directly are Nightmare on Elm Street, Carrie, and then oh my god, what was the other one I just mentioned? Nightmare on Elm Street, Carrie, and Exorcist. Really, really interesting mix of paying homage to these classics while still making something new and still something really unsettling and scary. And it is by far, and with this, I'll conclude because then I'm just going to spoil it. It's by far my favorite visual interpretation of what a dream is like.
Okay. I
And
love
when
that. And
I
also, you know what's interesting with your references, like The Exorcist and Carrie, they
Mhm.
wouldn't be as classic and as well loved as they are without the family backstory, which is so tied in to the
Correct.
film. And I think the fact that you're even mentioning that, I'm like, okay, we're
Very
gonna start.
relevant here. Family is very relevant here.
Yes,
And
yes. And I
wow,
imagine the lore gets expanded, and I love that. I
for
love
sure.
world building. We both do. We both love world
Mhm,
building, and
mhm.
oh, I'm here for it. I'm here for
Yes,
it. From what I understand, they go to like a summer
a
camp or
ski
something like
resort.
that, right?
They go
Okay.
to like a Christian youth camp.
Oh,
And
oh, there's
mhm,
okay. See, just you just say that, and it's like
there's so much sauce in this. There's so much sauce. There's so much commentary on religion that
right,
doesn't feel out of place, obviously, because of the little sister
sure,
and her religious background in the first one.
yeah, yeah. No, I remember.
I
Okay,
can't get it, and I don't wanna get too into it but
all right. It
it's
sounds like
got
Scott
so much
Derrickson is
sauce.
cooking.
No, I'm telling you, I feel it. I haven't seen his again, haven't seen his whole filmography. I adore the first Doctor Strange. I like it more than Multiverse of Madness, but that's me. I prefer Scott Derrickson as a director. But wow, I feel like this could be some of his best work, like the Black Phone 1 and 2.
But
Refined. It just feels really refined.
I mean, it's hard to top because I mean, Sinister is so iconic. But you've seen Sinister, right?
I don't recall having seen Sinister. I'm gonna be so real with you. Yeah, so that's why I'm like, asterisk with what I'm saying here. Take what I say with a grain
So
of salt.
so even like jump scares aside, because I'm
Mhm.
very jumpy.
Right.
Sinister is one of the scariest movies. It it got under my
Okay,
skin.
gotta watch it.
I was literally like, because I really bought into what was happening, and I was just like shaking. Like, and I again, this was one of those things where I didn't see it in theaters. I was at home.
Right.
I had like a blanket
Also with
around me.
Ethan Hawke. Wait, have I seen this?
Yeah, so Ethan Hawke and him have some history. So
Love that. Is Ethan Hawke his muse?
right, like I mean, I
You
think
know
that's
how
kind of the
Saoirse
thing.
Ronan is with Greta Gerwig
Yeah, or
and
like
yeah.
even Scorsese and De Niro or Scorsese and Leo,
Mhm,
so
mhm, mhm.
yeah, no, for sure. I think him and
Okay.
Ethan Hawke work really well together. So you should watch Sinister if you haven't.
For sure. Yeah, I haven't seen this. I actually haven't seen this. I'm definitely gonna check it out though.
And I think
Oh yeah,
to kind of tie a ribbon on the whole thing, I can't wait to see Black Phone 2 myself. I think
I love
it's gonna
it.
have some legs, especially going into the Halloween weekend. When
For
people go
sure.
out to the movies, this is like the top horror film on the bill. So
Mhm.
I'm sure it's
And
probably going to
it's
go over 100 mil, which
so
is awesome because it's already at 80, like
That's
globally.
awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome,
So
and I love that for them. And what's so fabulous about it is that there doesn't need to with the way that it's set up is that you don't need a Black Phone 3. Like this is just a perfect two-parter that is tied with such a beautiful ribbon. It's
yeah,
classy.
yeah.
I think a Black Phone 3 would just be overkill. But you never know unless
James
they come
notes.
what can I say? But,
Like we should have stopped at Insidious 2, Conjuring 2. Like,
Correct. Correct. I think a third is just overkill. I think we should just, refresh. But yeah, it's just this is like really good double feature because they're
awesome.
like the first and the second are such different vibes entirely and they're different
Yeah.
pacing. And you could tell here, homie got money. He convinced the studio to give him some money.
Sure, sure.
He's got sets now. He's got different locations. We've got like these man, the set pieces here are delicious. And now, okay,
You
I'll shut
know,
up.
before we move on, I'm here for Tyler roasting you. He said, not Ileana thinking, oh, let's watch Black Phone on a phone.
But you know
um,
what? Why wouldn't I?
so Sinister is the birth of traumatizing people with Super 8 footage. I'm gonna zip my lips because yeah.
Oh, then that means he kind of comes back. He kind of comes back with that a little bit on in Black Phone too. But
and
it's not
then
Super 8 footage. But you'll see, you'll see, you'll see.
he's saying the third phone's probably coming. You know what? If the studio begs for it, I just hope
It's gotta be a good
it's
enough
gonna ruin it.
idea. It's
Yeah,
gotta be a good enough idea. They could do it, but I can't tell you why.
because like we all saw Conjuring 3, and it just felt
Mhm.
tacked on. It felt like,
Tacked on and
okay,
tacky.
let's ride the coattails of the first two.
No, they'd
But
have
with
to
that
do
being
something
said,
entirely different.
that about wraps up the pulse, the box office pulse. Go see Black Phone 2. I can't wait to see it myself. Let's move on to a totally different genre of film. Yoinks! IMAX released a schedule for 2020.
Sorry. I love that that was the word you chose.
I was gonna say jinkies, and I was like, you know what? That's not gonna work. And then I
Yoinks
pivoted
was a
to
better word.
right. I pivoted to yoinks, and then that still felt funny. But anyways,
It's perfect.
uh, IMAX released a schedule for 2026 and 2027. Spider-Man Brand New Day is nowhere to be found. I don't know if
Boo.
this is time to panic. Real James earlier was saying he found it kind of baffling that that's a thing, and that makes me wonder. Maybe is it a contractual dispute, or like maybe they're just trying to navigate, because I know like certain films will buy like, oh, IMAX screens for this long, right? Like a
Yeah,
whatever
they'll just
20
probably
30
just
day
buy the
window,
block.
right? And then the next film is okay, now it's our turn. Like they purchase like a
Correct.
section or whatever. So maybe they're just working that out. But I mean, I don't think this is a cause for concern. What do you think, Eli?
I think we're really, really, really far ahead enough in the future. Like we're anticipating it far ahead enough in time that anything goes. I think having worked in or currently working in the creative industry and kind of being adjacent in productions and seeing how projects get developed and released, not necessarily film, but even if a damn TV commercial takes this long and to develop, and sometimes it could be done at the last minute and then, boom, all of a sudden you have a TV commercial in a month.
Our longest running
It could
fan
happen.
and our number
Holy
one fan,
cow. Oh my
Laser's
god.
here. Hello, Laser. Welcome back.
Laser, I have a question for you. Do you have a snake in your boot?
Nice.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
She'll be here all week.
Yes.
I think this is kind of an interesting joke that I mean, maybe it's not a real thing, but Tyler's saying Nolan's not going to let Spider-Man take IMAX away from him. But it's
When
like,
is Odyssey dropping?
it's next year.
Well, yeah, but like
Yeah, like
month-wise.
I'm not sure in terms of the window in comparison to Brand New Day, but it's just
Brand new
interesting. It's
Odyssey?
like, Like, what if Nolan? I mean, I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but it'd be so funny if Nolan writes a contract like, as long as Odyssey is in theaters, it has the IMAX. You know, like something like that. Like,
Odyssey's
I
gonna
don't know.
be rolling in the IMAX theaters for 3 months.
Right, right. And I think it's also interesting. Like, for example, something like Sinners kept going back to the theater, which I thought was really interesting.
By popular demand.
Right, right. And then I think F1 had one. I mean, people were kind of like, whether you loved or hated F1, I thought it was a fun film,
I
popcorn
think
flick.
F1 has more of a fandom of the sport rather than the movie.
Right,
That's the buzz. That's the buzz that really drew people to the box office.
right. But yeah, I think the overall sentiment here, I don't think it's a cause for concern.
Mm-mm.
I think between Sony and Marvel, especially Sony, because Sony they could probably use the box office. I think they're gonna work it out. Like,
For sure. And my question here is, and forgive me because I haven't read all the details on this. We got Avengers Doomsday Part 1 releasing next year. Is that on the IMAX schedule?
no, that's a thing. I'm not sure. So maybe the MCU is trying to
Mm,
work out their blocks. And look,
that's
Tyler
probably
gives
it. It's probably just scheduling.
Tyler's spilling the tea. So Odyssey releases 2 weeks before Brand New Day, and
Mm,
maybe Nolan's like, you know what? That's not enough for me.
Christopher Nolan mean girling the hell out of the box office. That's
Can you
funny.
imagine
Remember what we talked about earlier? I'm gonna watch the Odyssey on an iPod Nano 4th generation.
Well, here's the thing, right? Because I'm Team Nolan. I love Nolan, but
Yeah,
I can imagine
yeah.
the conversation like, "Hey, this is real cinema. We're talking about a superhero movie." Like, I can just imagine something of those along
I
those
mean,
lines.
I
Like,
guarantee you that he's writing and he and his agents are writing so hard off of the success of Oppenheimer. I saw Oppenheimer in IMAX,
yeah, me too.
and Odyssey is, I hope, I'll probably eat my words, but I feel like Odyssey is going to be an even bigger like boom than Oppenheimer.
Absolutely. And what's funny is the fact that Oppenheimer almost made $1 billion baffles me because it's such like a grounded drama. You know what I mean? So now we
Correct.
have a freaking Greek epic with monsters and
Exactly.
war. I'm here for
That's
that.
the
Like,
crowd pleaser. All of
yes,
the humanities majors, the English majors are going, just that audience alone gonna flip. There's gonna be school field trips to this movie probably. I don't know. I didn't go to school,
interesting.
but
So maybe Nolan is going to war because Kevin Davis says Universal Pictures should have
mm.
moved because Moana live action comes out a week before Odyssey.
Oh
Ooh, the
my
drama.
god.
I'm loving
This is
this
tea.
drama.
This is
It's like
tea. Okay, guys, tell us
Disney
more.
versus Universal versus Sony and and Marvel. It's like it's just I love this.
Huh. Is the song coming out of this gonna be called Actually Cinematic? This is interesting. This is actually a
Yeah.
really interesting, this is business right here,
Right.
actually.
No, see, this is like the corporate side of Hollywood that
Mhm.
people aren't really privy to. So I think, like,
Mhm.
especially as a film nerd, this is kinda like, oh shit, look at the studios kind of like, hey, wait a minute. They're like trying to like
No,
shove each other aside. Like,
not only, yes, of course, it is the corporate side, it is the business side, but at the end of the day, there's a finite number of screens. So everyone's
right. See,
gotta
that's
share.
right. No, that's the thing. And I think, especially for an event picture like the Odyssey, let's be real, tickets sold out to some screenings. Like, this is
Mhm.
an
A
event.
year in
This is an
advance.
event, and Nolan has the brand. So, of course, he wants premium, a premium block,
Coverage.
so it makes you wonder, I bet you Disney's fighting both ends, like, whether it's Moana or Spider-Man, Disney's like, "Hey, hold on."
This
So
is basically, it's a waiting game. It's
right,
just, I don't, yeah. I don't see I don't know. I don't see Nolan folding, but you never know. Maybe Nolan
right,
finds or his team really, because obviously there's like a whole team of people that are always behind these things because
sure,
you
and I'm
can't
sure
do any of this alone.
they're probably gonna, like, mitigate something, have some sort of, like,
For
compromise or something.
sure, for sure. I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll start screening, they'll make Nolan, if he had infinite dollar bills, would probably print out, not print, but manufacture brand new IMAX screens and just start doing like outdoor amphitheater screenings like the Greeks.
Right, and then it's like his film is the only film shown unless it's not playing anymore or something like that. Or
Exactly.
like it's
Exactly.
exclusively his catalog, which
And
would
it's
be
like,
kind of
oh,
fun.
you thought you were gonna take away IMAX screens from me? Watch this.
Right. It's like, and then it's like the
And that'd be
whole
pretty
time
fun.
you can kind of pick your litter, like Dark Knight, Interstellar,
Uh-huh.
Dunkirk.
Uh-huh.
Pick one. Tenet.
I mean, you gotta bang in filmography to choose from there.
He really does. As I was saying
It's
it,
crazy.
Inception, like
Yeah, and it's like scratching the surface of it all.
yeah, like oh my god, I'd watch Inception in IMAX for kicks. Like I would totally do
For
that.
sure. I
So
think anybody would. But yeah, this is
and
this is interesting to see. I think we gotta let this cook. We gotta let this marinate.
meanwhile, Laser's like, let me watch Toy Story 5 in IMAX, please. He's not even worried about none of this.
Toy Story. I love how Laser is so committed to his costume.
He is. I think I don't know if I've ever seen anyone as dedicated as he is to Toy Story, and I love that for him. Like that's great.
Good for him. You know what?
Like
We love
he's
you,
standing
Laser.
on
You're just
business for
dedicated,
Woody and the
period.
gang.
We love a person who's dedicated and committed.
Absolutely.
Just like Christopher Nolan to that date. Whoop!
So from one Marvel event picture to an event series, I guess, for Netflix. The Stranger Things 5 finale is coming to theaters, which I think is awesome. Even though we waited like 20 years and the children are no longer children,
Thank you.
it kind of begs the question: should Netflix do more theatrical releases? And they already kind of do. I think for certain directors, I think I saw the
Like
Killer.
Frankenstein now.
I saw The Killer by David Fincher in theaters, so that was cool. I don't know how limited that release was, but I think this is awesome, especially for the really grand series. Like, I don't know if Wednesday could be a theater thing, but Stranger Things, for sure, especially that last season. How do you feel about it, Eli? Are you a fan of Stranger Things, and do you think this is worth seeing in the theaters?
I used to be a huge fan of Stranger Things. I think that I rewatched it for the first time like 2 years ago. I feel like I did like a whole rewatch marathon for my old podcast, and it is really, really well done. I really, really like the writing in those first 3 seasons in particular. The last season was okay, but the time that they take between seasons, and considering the last season how honestly a bit choppy as it was, I don't know. I don't have super duper duper high hopes for season 5. Like I feel like they're just going to kind of fizzle out, and with all of the drama with the cast and the creators wanting to leave Netflix, to pursue other projects, I'm like, "Oh, man, I feel like they've just kind of spoiled it a bit." A little bit. But that's just me and my personal anticipation for it. In terms of Netflix doing more theatrical releases, I'm gonna present two points really quick here. Last night when I saw Frankenstein is a Netflix original that
There you
does
go.
the theatrical release, but it's more so Netflix following the Academy rules because they want to
Right. No, you're
obviously
right.
run this
For
for
Academy
awards.
consideration. Yeah.
Correct. They did the same thing with oh my gosh, what did they do? No, sorry, I was confusing Killers of the Flower Moon. Irishman. They did the same thing with The Irishman, which is another Scorsese movie. Which that was before Killers of the Flower Moon. That was my confusion there. And they got 12, 11 nominations at the Academy Awards alone. No wins, obviously, because The Irishman was extremely self-indulgent. But I think Scorsese has earned that for himself, for
Yeah.
better or for worse.
Right.
And at the end of the day, this is just, again, them just following the rules. They know they're not making money at this. This is just for them to be able to run this and get more subscriptions for their streaming service, which is a broken business model in my opinion.
Right.
But it could work if you support the right projects, being a K-pop Demon Hunter, being a Stranger Things, projects that have more of a mass audience appeal.
Right.
However, and here's a really interesting insight, the other side to that. People are smart. People are smart, like tend to be smart consumers. And people now more than ever are having to be a lot smarter with their money. And when that Netflix logo came on before the movie started, clearly nobody in that theater, except for me, it seemed, knew that it was a Netflix movie. And everyone was like, huh? And some guy said, what am I doing here then? Because I got Netflix at home.
Right.
So is it going to be the same with every audience? Of course not. But it bears the question, will people start like really supporting Netflix doing more theatrical releases because they know, oh, why would I do that? I definitely will be able to see it in a month when they upload it to Netflix. People are not going to go to the movie theaters to spend more money. They might as well just spend that money seeing another movie that's not going to be on streaming super quickly. So it's a really, double-edged sword situation here. Could work. It just has to be like these really big mass event kind of a release, in particular something like a Stranger Things 5 finale, where you already have an audience for it. You already have a fan base that is really loyal and has been loyal for the past 9 years that the show's been on. 9 years.
I can't believe it's been that long.
Oh my God. This show has been on longer than before the first Trump administration.
Right. No,
That's
and then actually
that's
I've seen
how
a lot
long
of
it's been on.
memes. I've seen a lot of memes. It's like we've had like how many like Jurassic Park films and how many like it's just like all these movies that like came
It's
in
just
between.
preposterous.
Right. You know what's
But
interesting too? Because for me, I've been a huge fan, and I really liked last season. I've been a fan every
mhm,
season. Even going back to season 1, I think there's always been a cinematic quality to Stranger Things, which is one of the reasons why
exactly.
I like it so much. So I
Mhm.
think the show in and of itself, it lends itself to be seen on the big screen, which is awesome. And secondly, I mean, so Kevin mentioned it, how, and you talked about it, K-pop Demon Hunter went into the theaters before streaming and it blew up, but it made $20 million in the theater and was number 1 that week. It was a slow week, but it was number
Really?
1 at the box office. Yeah, so K-pop Demon
Super
Hunters,
limited release.
because we didn't have a box office pulse that weekend, but they were number 1 for a weekend.
Mm.
Um,
Man, dude, it's just such a good movie. Remember?
right, and it's just really interesting because I feel like people will show up for the right properties. And Kevin's
Mhm.
saying people are used to seeing Netflix films at home, and I agree. But I think, like
Correct.
you said, there's a fandom here that's gonna show up. Like
Exactly.
Stranger
The
Things is
same way
huge.
people
Like, yeah,
show up for a Demon Slayer, the same way people show up for, in my case, I showed up for Dandadan, the season 2 when it was in theaters. Why would I do that? It's going to be on Crunchyroll in like a month because I'm really excited for the new season.
and even like with the joke, right? Tyler's saying put One Piece season 2 in theaters next year, and his life is yours Netflix. Like, I think even joke aside, that
It's
shows like
fandom.
fans will come out to see the right stuff on the big screen. And me personally, like I saw this news and I was like, oh, I'm gonna get my ticket because I'm gonna go. I'm gonna see the
Mhm. Mhm.
Stranger Things
Mhm.
5 finale in theaters, like for sure.
I'm
Um,
assuming it's also just the last episode. It's not going to be like, or maybe the last 2 episodes.
yeah, because I think last year there was like an hour each, and it was like a really long arc or whatever for the last 2 episodes, right? Um, so Laser said he's hyped. I need to verify this. Laser, is this a typo? He said he has the Stranger Things Doritos cookies cereal. That
That's the
sounds like
most American thing I've ever heard in my life.
it sounds like such a clash of flavors. Like, are we talking about a nacho cheese cookie? Like, what are we saying? Like, I'm confused. And is it good? I need to know, Laser.
I don't know
Um,
about all of that.
but it sounds like he's down to see Stranger Things in theaters.
Mm.
Um, he said no, it's separate. Okay, so there's Stranger Things Doritos and
The
there's a Stranger
importance of
Things
a
cereal.
comma.
I was so confused. I was like, are we
We
talking
were
about a
both confused. We were both you were chatting and I was reading. I was like, huh?
I was
But we're
like
just being silly.
Cool Ranch cereal? I don't know if I want to put
Mm-mm.
milk in there and
I
crunch
believed it
on
though
that.
because I don't know. I don't know. This if again, most American thing I've ever read.
So also, I was watching this thing a couple days ago, and it was oh my god, I can't even remember their names anymore. But two of the kids were watching like, rewatching some of the old episodes, and they literally
Mm.
say like, "Oh wow, I look so young here." Like
Because they were
the meme is really
babies.
it's really funny, like because these kids are adults now, and it's like,
Yeah.
fucking what's her name? Millie Bobby Brown got married.
She
Like,
got married and adopted a child.
right,
Because she's
right.
already like 21. Yes, granted, she is very young, but she didn't even
All right.
realize her character was like 14
So
in
Tyler's
season.
in the chat, and he's asking what Stranger Things has to do with cookie cereal. I'm gonna tell you, my friend, to quote yogurt in Spaceballs, merchandising, merchandising, merchandising. They gotta
How
print more money, man.
specific. Yeah, I mean, eventually the Hot Topics and the box lunches are gonna dry up from the Stranger Things income.
Actually, I'm gonna be on the other side of that. They do
Okay.
really well over there.
No,
And
for
the
sure. But
Funkos.
eventually, like, give it 5-10 years, it's gonna fade. It's gonna fade a
Oh,
little bit.
right,
It's not
right.
gonna
No,
be
because yeah,
as
the trends come and
strong.
go. A new show
For
will come out. Yeah,
sure.
you're right. You're
Of
right.
course. She's a Bon Jovi. Oh my, yeah, she is. Yes, she is. Millie Bobby Brown
Interesting.
married well.
And this is a little off topic, but Kevin Davis is saying he thinks Jeremy Allen White will still get an Oscar nomination despite Springsteen flopping, and Timothy Chalamet and Leonardo DiCaprio will probably be in there as well. Yeah, I don't doubt it. I think Benicio is a lock, like
For
for
best
sure.
supporting.
Yeah, yeah. And
I
then I
would
don't know
do a backflip, actually.
and I don't know if Infinity Chase or Tiana did enough, but they were really good too. So, or even Regina Hall. I mean, there's
I was
half of
gonna
so
say,
many
I feel like I prefer Regina Hall
over
for that
Tiana Taylor.
nom over
Okay.
Tiana Taylor. Like
Yeah.
Tiana work, but I feel like she wasn't. And I know we had the same, not we, but the community had the same argument last year with Isabella Rossellini and Conclave.
Right.
But I feel like Rebecca Hall, even though her performance was quieter, more she impacted me more than Tiana Taylor. But that's just me. But they were both great. They were both phenomenal. And I don't see, oh my gosh, what's this young actress's name? She plays Leonardo DiCaprio's daughter. She was great. But I don't see her as a supporting. I see her as best.
Oh, Infinity Chase.
Infinity Chase. I don't see, I
Oh
think
wait,
it would be insulting
really?
to put her as supporting.
Interesting. Interesting. And by the way, Tyler, that dog was fantastic.
Mhm.
I don't. Did you
Did
see
you
Good
see
Boys?
it? No,
It
I
was so good.
haven't.
It was so good. I
I
loved
gotta
it. It
see
was so
it.
good.
Did you
And
cry? Was it sad?
well, you know what? No spoilers.
Okay.
It does get a little emotional. But I think the best part is the end of the film. The director actually comes on screen and thanks you for watching, and
That's
then
so cool.
he gives you a behind the scenes on how they like filmed with the dog. It was his dog, and it's really
That's
cute, especially
precious.
especially the ending. And as you know, for film fans, it's cool to see that behind the scenes. So
Love that. No, I asked you because remember Presents earlier this year?
yeah, that was a good one.
Oh, I cried. Me and my
Oh,
friend cried. We were both
oh
just
no.
with that ending. Beautiful movie.
So, really quick before we move on, Kevin said, "Do you think Wicked for Good will get a Best Picture nomination?" I think absolutely. The first one
Probably,
did,
yeah.
and now that Best Picture is expanded to like 8 to 10 films, I think absolutely, at the very
Mhm.
least, and maybe
Mhm.
the what's the one that Barbie won? The participate
Uh,
or the
no, best blockbuster, I think.
something like
Not
that. The best.
blockbuster.
I forgot what it's called.
It's basically best blockbuster.
Right, it's a
It's a
silly trophy.
participation award. But
Right.
Barbie did win, oh my gosh, or did win. I know they were nominated for like best costume design, best production, and all these things like that. I feel like Wicked for Good is gonna do really good, really well, excuse me,
Oh
in
yeah,
the
I think
technical
they're really
categories.
ramping up, and the marketing's been really good for that one.
I think Cynthia and Ariana are gonna get nominated again. I think depending on how the race goes, this is just me now. I haven't seen all the contenders for the awards race. So once again, take what I say with a grain of salt. On today, October 27th, I believe that Cynthia Erivo has a really good chance.
Okay.
Because she's going to have some really good moments in Act 2.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm here for it. You know I'm here for it. I mean, I got the hat, I got the glasses, I'm all about it.
Yeah.
But shifting from Wicked to something a little bit more terrifying, since it is Halloween week, we thought it'd be fun to talk about our favorite horror films of 2025. And let me just preface this because I look at this collage, right? Like, this has been a fantastic year for horror films, and not just that, guys. Like, there's some films I left off of here. Like, Ileana was talking about Presence, which was awesome.
Really good.
And there's been a lot of good ones here, and I will admit, Sinners is still my favorite of the group, but and I mean, okay, maybe not my favorite of the group, but I just love it so much. However,
it's phenomenal.
28 years later,
I still got to see it. Should I see it on my phone, guys? Vote in the chat.
No, watch it in your living room at the very least.
It was filmed on an iPhone.
But really quickly, like I guess I'll lead us off. 28 years later, honestly, it really jumped up to Sinners, like one neck and neck for not just my favorite horror film, like favorite film of the year. And this is over everything else I've seen. It's really beautifully done, and I love how, the power of a director like Danny Boyle, not only to follow up 28 weeks and 28 days later, to kind of reinvent the zombie genre, because obviously it's been done to death, whether it was The Walking Dead or however many Days of the Dead, and what was Zack Snyder's one?
Army of the Dead.
And we've had like Romero's Land of the Dead. We've had so many zombie movies, and sure, Shaun of the Dead is fantastic. Train to Busan is fantastic. I like World War Z. Not everybody likes that one, but
it's fun.
Yes,
I enjoy it.
We've had so many of these movies, but 28 years later found some new little twists and new things to add to its world building and add to its mythology, and it made it not only interesting, but really, really like examining like humanity and diving into like what the world would be like, and analyzing like where does humanity go when after the apocalypse. And a lot of apocalyptic shows do that, but this film really captured something fresh. It was scary. It was shot beautifully, and I loved it so much. I can't wait to talk to you about it more. I don't want to spoil anything, but there's so many elements that he kind of he made zombies fun again. He made zombies like feel alive. Like I wasn't bored by it. I wasn't like, oh, typical. Like, no, he really added some new things that, so there's like little things we just haven't quite seen before. And I thought it was awesome. Great time in the theater.
Hell yeah. I gotta watch it. I gotta, if I don't see it this week, it's gonna be in like the coming weeks. I feel like I'm gonna extend my spooky movie watching into November.
But we had a lot to choose from, Eli. What about you? What was your favorite horror film of 2025?
It's really, really neck and neck with Sinners and Weapons. I loved Weapons. I know not everybody did. I know not all the girls get it, but the girls who do, okay? And I got it. I loved it. I am also a huge fan of Barbarian. I think, what's his name? Zach Cregger?
Zach
Cregger. Wow. You're an ally. Like, this is this is so good. I love his sense of humor. It's so wacky. It's what happened?
Tyler, this is inappropriate.
Absolutely not. Say that to Korok. Say that to his face.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. You might see an eggplant.
No, I don't want to see zombie schlong.
But to be fair, guys, it doesn't take away from the film. It's just
oh, thank God.
It's a part of the aesthetic. And you guys will see when you watch the film. There's a lot to take in with the whole thing. So
yeah, I'm sure someone's taking it in.
Tyler said this one you might. Hey,
Jesus H Christ.
You know what?
Leo's
Anyways, I'm so
shaking his
sorry.
head at us.
Continue. Weapons. We're talking about
Weapons
weapons.
is great. No zombie schlong in it whatsoever. I think it has some really, really interesting things that it says. I love the sense of humor in it. Sinners is just, to me, such a near perfect movie. I mentioned Presence. Presence I think is phenomenal. You know what? I'm gonna count Frankenstein. I think
Okay.
Frankenstein is more of a classic,
It's definitely
more
like gothic horror for
classical,
sure. Yeah.
exactly, very gothic horror romance. Because I'm not gonna say it wasn't scary. It's definitely not a. It's like Crimson Peak. Definitely
Right.
gothic romance. I think, and a lot of people were obviously turned off by it because they thought it was going to be more horror. But I wouldn't say it's completely devoid of horror, because what's more horrifying than love? But that's me. But that's just
No,
me.
it's
I
true, and
think I love how Guillermo del
yeah,
Toro explores those things,
yeah,
and those themes. So definitely loved Frankenstein. Yes, recency bias. I saw it last night. Um, yeah, I think a top. If I really, really, really had to choose one that I would rewatch, I've seen Sinners already a couple times.
yeah. I've seen it
So
like 4
it's
times,
just
but
solid.
no
It's
shame
solid.
there. And I have a big smile the entire time. I'm just as a like a cinephile, as a film fan, I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh my god, this movie
Yeah.
is beautiful.
Really, it's just
Um,
one of those satisfying movies to watch, you know?
a-
It's
and a
how I
quick shout
feel with
out.
Nope.
Nice. I love Nope too. Quick shout out though to Sophie Thatcher in it's in the corner of the collage there.
Mhm, mhm.
Companion was awesome, and that came out really early. I think it was January,
Yeah, it was around the same
February-ish.
time as Presence, I think, too.
Right. But Companion was awesome.
I
I
gotta watch
really
it.
loved that one. So wait, you haven't seen that one either?
No, I chose
Oh,
Presence over Companion.
okay. You got to check that one out. It's really fun, and it's got some
Gotta.
interesting things to say. Again, kind of like 28 years later, it's like, and even Sinners, like there's always a
Mhm.
little bit more than just zombies, just vampires,
Love
just
it.
AI. No, there's more to it, and it's just like you said, 4 or 5 shows ago, people will come out for movies that are written well. Writing is everything, because when something's written really well, it shines, and critics love it, audiences
Mhm,
love it, and,
mhm.
and it and it shows. And especially with some of these films that are making a lot of money at the theaters, being number one for 1, 2, 3, whatever weeks, it's awesome to see. It's so
Love it.
awesome.
No, you honestly love to see it. I think horror in particular, not only this year, but in the past, I would like to say 3, 4 years, post-pandemic, let's say.
Right.
Wow, just really showing up with such incredible variety and piquing the audience interest. I know Together wasn't as big of a hit as maybe some of us might have hoped for. I was more excited for Together um, than I was for a couple of these other movies, and I didn't love it as much as I expected it to, because Weapons was just really that good. Um,
Right.
didn't
Tyler
catch
said shout out to Final
Bloodlines.
Destination. I like that one too, Tyler. It was fun. A
I
good
think
return to form.
my gripe with Final Destination is the same thing we were talking about earlier, just part 1 and part 2. Those first 2, you know,
Right. Well, to be
you don't need
fair,
'em.
you can only do that so many times. Like,
Yeah. It's a
it's
it's a
like,
limited trope.
right. And then to close out, guys, another quick little horror thing. If you drop a comment below
Ooh.
if you have any hot takes in terms of like horror movie franchises. I have 2, and they're really quick, and you guys can flame me if you want. Get your tomatoes out.
Oh,
I
man.
don't I don't care for Hellraiser 1. I'm sorry.
I'm with you.
I'm not into the BDSM and the sexy killer. I don't know. He was searching for pleasure, and I don't know.
Speak
You
on it.
know,
Speak on it.
I don't like it. I like the second one, which was kind of cool because we get Tyler's already throwing tomatoes. The second one kind of has like this extra world to it, which I thought was really cool, and we explore the Xenobites more and the back history of Pinhead. But the first one, it's a rough watch. It's not one I'm gonna revisit. And lastly, it's fun. Like, I think Jason's fun, but I can't believe that a Michael Myers clone spawned such a rabid fan base and had so many films, and not all of them are great. You know, some of them are really bad, and especially the first Friday the 13th, I don't care for it that much. Minus like Tom Savini's effects and maybe the twist at the end, but I don't really like Friday the 13th that much. I think I have a couple films that I enjoy, but I don't love that franchise. So don't kill me. I'm so sorry, guys.
I'm with you, Lo. Honestly, like it's not necessarily a hot take I'm offering to the table here, but I agree. Like Halloween, Friday the 13th, and I'm like, they're fine. Not connecting with me personally. Same thing with Scream. I have a hot take.
Okay, here we go. We're here for it.
I think slashers can be boring.
Oh,
I'm not a
okay.
slasher girl. I don't find it
Right.
interesting enough. I
Right.
love when things are supernatural. And if
Right.
it's not supernatural, give me a serial killer. Give me a crime thriller. Give
Mhm.
me a Long Legs, give me a Silence of the Lambs, but Scream.
It's like it's almost like you're just waiting for someone
ha-
to die, right? It's like, okay,
And then
how
you
are
only
this
yeah, it's like
how is
okay,
this one gonna die? Like,
and it's just some random, and it's human. This is a human being. I'm like, okay, sure. This is just how it's just like watching A Thousand Ways to Die. I'm not a slasher girl. I know it can be fun. It's like, oh my gosh, look how ridiculous, look how absurd. There are other fun, campy, absurd horror movies that I find more enjoyable
so
than a
Tyler's poking
slasher.
fun at you. Tyler's asking, are slashers by definition serial killers? You know what? Probably, but it's not grounded in realism the way like a Seven or like a or like a even like a Silence of the Lambs is. It's not
Correct.
straight clear horror movie, but it's horrific in nature and it's good.
Yeah, and I think the thing with slashers is there's not really that usually there's not really that kind of Criminal Minds Mindhunter aspect of it. Yeah, you're killing a bunch of people, but just kind of for shits and giggles. You
Right,
know,
right.
there's no like profile, there's no mystery to really dig into usually that much. I think the one slasher that I find more interesting on the in terms of how it presents the trope is Happy Death Day,
Okay.
and it combines Groundhog Day with a slasher, and I
Yeah, yeah.
found that really interesting. Was it my favorite movie ever? Of course not. But I like that it didn't take itself too seriously, but it was still cool. I like that the protagonist kind of had to earn her freedom, sort of, so to speak. Because it's not,
Right,
I don't think she was like the best character ever, in
right,
the beginning of the movie. It's just it's the same, she had to learn a lesson. The same
right.
thing with Bill Murray and Groundhog Day. So I like that. That's kind of one that jumps out to me. But yeah, no, I prefer something a little bit more thriller, more crime thriller in that sense. Not that just truly not for me. If really I'm gonna dive into horror, I'm a demonic possessed spirits kind of a girl. I
Yeah.
love the religious imagery in these movies, and just looking over your shoulder to make sure there's nothing there.
Oh, no, no, I was gonna
The
grab my
timing's
Elm
great.
Street sign because, like, for me, like, my favorite horror icon is Freddy, and to your point, it's like one of the
Mhm.
reasons why I like Nightmare on Elm Street is the fantastical
Mhm.
supernatural element.
Mhm.
Because for me, that's refreshing, and that's like get killed in your sleep is terrifying, and you can't do
Exactly.
anything about it. So
It really
that
taps into really niche, not necessarily, it's a universal fear that not many people openly talk about. It's
right,
dying in your
but
sleep.
like just the idea of Freddy Krueger is horrifying. Like, what would
Oh,
you
you're
do?
gonna like Black Phone too. Oh,
Like,
I can't wait for you to watch it.
so, but yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. I do like, I prefer like the more supernatural types of horror. So,
Mhm.
with that being said, though, that about wraps up this week's episode. Hope everyone has a wonderful Halloween. Elay, why don't you tell the people what you got going on and where they can find you?
Well, you can find me at Captain Melendez over on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd, and you can also find me and my other wonderful critics colleagues over at PR Critics on Twitter and Instagram. And also follow the PRCA podcast wherever you consume podcasts. New York's film festival coverage has come up. There's going to be a European Film Festival coverage coming up soon, so definitely check it out. And guys, the PRCA awards are around the corner. Okay, January. I know it's in January, but you gotta stay tuned because we're trying to level this shit up this year, and I'm really excited for us to like take it out and for everybody to see it.
Heck yeah, give the PR critics a follow. You can follow me at Twitter and Letterboxd at Marcellus Durden. I am a proud editor and writer for the Cinema Spot. These guys are killing it, even though I'm kind of slacking. But check us out on all socials at the Cinema Spot and thecinemasspot.com. We've got some critics covering Beyond Fest. We've got reviews for Yorgos Lanthimos' Begonia, starring Emma Stone, Roofman, and After the Hunt, and all One Battle After Another, all the movies that are out right now. Check us out at thecinemasspot.com. I don't know why I always have a hard time with my plugs on that, but
It's okay. You got him.
at any rate, it's been a pleasure. Laser over here saying happy Halloween. Hope you have a good one, Laser.
Be safe, y'all, and have fun.
And next week we'll talk about costumes and stuff because I was gonna do that now, but we should probably start closing up. Yeah, thank you everybody who's in the chat. And every Monday we do this at 6 p.m. Pacific. What's the Eastern time? 9 p.m.
9 p.m. Eastern. Yes.
9 p.m. Eastern. So come back next week. Make sure to give Geekly Goods a like and a subscribe down below. And we will see you guys next week. Peace out.